Hello everyone, welcome back to the C programming tutorials. These tutorials are brought to you by Zeedup technologies. In the previous video of this tutorial course, we saw that how can we create strings in C, and with the help of string.h header file, we performed some of the functions over the strings. Now in this video, we are going to look at some other important functions that could be used over these strings, and all these functions are built-in functions, which means that their definition is already present in a header file known as string.h, and in order to use them, all you need to do is just use these functions, or you just need to call these functions and pass the arguments in them, and you would be able to perform all the operations on them. Alright, so these are the list of the functions that we will be seeing in this video. As you can see, I have commented them all. The first one is strcmp function. So first of all, let us understand that what this function strcmp does. It actually compares two strings, and if they are found to be equal, it returns 0 as the output, and if they are unequal, then it returns some value other than 0. So basically it tells whether the strings are equal to one another or not. Okay, so let's just create some strings for this purpose. So the first string that I'm going to create is going to be S1, that is going to contain the word hello. Then again I'm going to create another string S2, that is again going to contain the word hello. That is just for this strcmp function. Okay, so let us just compare these two strings, and whatever the value of the comparison is, we are going to just store it in an integer variable, say c, and initialize it with let us just not initialize it. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to call in the function, or the variable actually c, and then in the c variable we are going to call up this function strcmp, and it is going to expect two strings. So the strings we are going to provide it with is S1 and S2. So these are the two strings, and then we are going to check whether these strings are equal or not. So let us just use if condition, that if c is double equals 0, we want to print using the printf statement a message that these strings are equal. We can just write equal strings. Otherwise, or in the else case, what we are going to print using the printf statement, unequal strings. Unequal strings. Okay, so that's what we are going to do, and that is the usage of the strcmp function. Let's just compile it and see its output. So we get the output as equal strings, because yes, both of these strings contain the word hello and they are equal. Now instead of hello, let's say these strings contain, one string contains hello and the other string contains the word world. Okay, and then you can just compile it and you get the answer as unequal strings. So that's how the strcmp function is used. That's pretty simple. Okay, the next function that we have is known as strrev, or string reverse function. Now whatever the string you have passed into it, it will just reverse that string and give you the output. It is very useful in finding out the palindrome words. Now what are the palindrome words? That the words that can be read the same from the right as from the left, like EYEI. Okay, so EYEI is actually a palindrome word, because both of the from both the places right and left, it is I. Okay, so let's see whether this string reverse function, that how this string reverse function works. So we can simply use a printf statement for this and write the output as reversed string is, and we can just use a mod s placeholder, And here what we are going to use is strrev function, and we are going to reverse the first string, that is s1. Okay, let's just compile it. So the reversed string is OLLEH. So that is the output. It has reversed the string that it got, that is hello has been reversed to this thing. So that's the string reverse function. The third function that we have over here is strlwr function. Now strlwr string function stands for string lower. It just converts whatever your string is, it converts it into the lower case. But since our string is already in the lower case, so let's just create another string which is going to be completely in uppercase, like char s3. It's going to be completely in uppercase, and it's going to contain the word simple string, right? It's completely in uppercase. We are going to convert it into the lowercase letters. So again, we can simply use a printf statement for this purpose, or what you can do is, if you do not want to directly print it, if you want to store it somewhere, you can just create a blank string, and then you can be able to store it in the string and print the value of that particular string. So I will show you that also. So lowercase string is equals mod s, and here it's going to be strlwr, and what string we're going to pass is s3. Let's see its output by compiling it, and you can see that lowercase string is, whole of the string is converted into a lowercase. The next function that we have is strupr, that is the just opposite of strlwr. It is going to just convert our string into an uppercase one. Okay, so s2 is the string that we're going to convert in uppercase, and I'm going to show you that how you can store the output of a function into another string. So let's just create a string s4 and provide it with a value, say 12, or a size of 12, and let's just not initialize it. So over here, I'm just going to store whatever the output we get in the string s4. And what is going to be stored in it? It is going to be strupr, the uppercase version of the second string, that is s2. And then we are going to just use the printf statement to print that the uppercase string is mod s, and it is going to be nothing but s4. Okay, so let's just compile it once again. Okay, so we have got an error over here, that is we cannot just initialize it like this. So I'm not particularly sure that why we are getting this error. So for that, what we can do is we can simply just write this strupr over here only, instead of just initializing it to the string like this, s2. Okay, the reason why we are getting this is because it is a character array. String is a character array, so you need to just perform all the operations on the arrays for assignment purposes. So what we have got over here is uppercase string is word. We need to provide a \n over here to get it into the next line. That's how the uppercase string works. s2 is converted into uppercase right now. Then the next thing is strchr. So what does this string do? It accepts two arguments. One is the string itself, and the second argument that it expects is the character. What does the strchr function does? It just whatever the character you have passed into this function, it just searches for the last occurrence of that particular character, and whatever the last occurrence is, it just prints the string after it. Okay, so that's the very simple example of this strchr. Now in order to store this string, what you can do is, instead of creating it as a character array, you can just create a string as a pointer to a character array, like char pointer s4. Now in order to use this strchr function, what we are going to do is we are going to write s4, and in s4 we are going to use this strchr function on which string? We are going to use it in s2 string. Okay, Now S2 contains word, but since we have converted it into the uppercase over here, so it is going to convert word in all the uppercase letters. The letter we are going to search for is capital O, and that's it. Then we are going to just print f the value of strchr. So strchr is what we are going to print, equals mod s, and s4 will be the value. So let's just compile it, and we get ORLD, that is W is omitted because the last occurrence of the word capital O is O, so it is printed like this. Okay. The last function that we have is strncat, which is actually used to concatenate only a number of letters, not the whole string, only a number of letters that is specified by the number. So it expects 3 arguments. Let's just create a new string s5 with the value 12. It expects 3 arguments, and these 3 arguments are let's just directly write it in the printf function, strncat equals mod s, and let's just write the function strncat. The first argument it is expecting is where it wants to concatenate, so it in the string s5, from which string, so let's just do with string s2, and how many characters? 3 characters. So that's it. Let's just compile it and see its output. WOR. So the first 3 characters from the string s2 have been concatenated into the string s5. That's all for the string functions. Thanks for watching.